I was walking down the street one day, and my high school principal, a great man named Dan Cagle, encountered me, and he said, "Bob, would you like a job?" So I said, "Well, why not? I'll give it a shot." He saw something in me that I didn't see, and so I became a principal of a school at age 24, and life went on from there. I ended up doing the things I've done at Chapel Hill and UNCW, and I've loved every moment of it.
One of the things that most people don't know about Dr. Tyndall is that his life has been dedicated to education, not just higher education, but also education across the state.
I think probably the thing I enjoyed the most was founding the Consortium for the Advancement of Public Education, and also creating the consortium at the Research Triangle Park, which involved Duke University, NC State, and Chapel Hill. And I served as executive director of that program for about 5 years.
I think the wrap on Bob is that if you've worked with Bob, you've worked with the best.
Well, I always had this feeling that if you could leverage the talents and energy and resources of institutions across those institutions and focus those on 4 or 5 specific things for several years, that you could achieve a lot more than you can doing something as an individual.
You couldn't get any better from a planning perspective than to have this guy drive the process to create this new college.
At UNC Wilmington, Bob Tyndall was involved in many initiatives and many roles, including numerous leadership roles.
I was so fortunate to be around those people and to have that opportunity. And then Jim Lucy became chancellor here. I'd known him and of him when he was at Chapel Hill. He called me in one day and said, you need to use your leadership skills that you showed in the Research Triangle area and at Chapel Hill and apply those here. And I became a department chair, and then a dean, then a vice chancellor, and a vice chancellor and associate provost here. What a great opportunity, and so enjoyable.
I was chatting with our dean of the Watson College of Education, Van Dempsey, and he has an enormous amount of regard for Bob Tyndall. Bob is an innovator. He's an entrepreneur. He has a very good understanding of the political landscape of higher ed, and he really helped UNCW navigate that landscape such that we now have, I think, the best college of education in the UNC system.
I'm most proud of the fact that everything I was involved with, because of other people and my energy, it still exists. The consortium here still exists. The College of Education is now known not just locally or regionally, but statewide and nationally. The things we did with technology and the innovations area there, the Razor Walker Awards program that we created, the new degree programs that we created drew students here in droves. We created the first off-campus programs for students to take courses and get their full degrees without coming to campus, but they were still face-to-face back then, you have to remember. And it just grew and took off, and the energy was contagious. I look forward to going to work. I really did. People say that, but I really look forward to it. It was so energizing and exciting.
He's been a most innovative and creative person. Most people may not also realize that Bob Tyndall was responsible for the creation and the architecture that's in our Watson College of Education building, which is one of the nicest education buildings in the state. I think most people would agree with that.
I always had sort of a poetic soul. I like to see the structures beneath things that connected things, just like a poet would, or an engineer, or an artist. That was probably the 2 things I would say that really drove me, was that desire to have work that matters, to listen and engage other people, to have their energy connect with my energy, and to create something new that could survive, but to always have that kind of poetic soul underneath the surface. That really matters to me to this day.